All right, so we spend so much of our lives, right, trying to build these really meaningful connections. But have you ever stopped to think, what if the way we've all been taught to do it is actually the real source of all our frustration? We're going to explore a really powerful shift in perspective today, one that kind of moves us away from all that conflict and towards a much deeper, more authentic way of relating to each other. You know that feeling, right? It's so familiar. You get into a relationship, romantic, friendship, whatever, and it's supposed to bring joy. But somehow, it just becomes a source of friction and unmet expectations. It's like we're aiming for harmony, but we just land in this constant struggle. So, what is really going on here? Where is this huge disconnect actually coming from? Well, according to the perspective we're digging into, the problem often starts right here. You could call it the transactional trap. And it's that exact moment when a connection stops feeling like this genuine, warm bond. It starts to feel a lot more like some kind of unwritten contract. Okay, let's be honest. Most of us would never actually say this out loud, but subconsciously, this question is almost always running in the background. We're kind of hoping that someone else is going to make us happy, or give us security, or bring joy into our lives. We're looking to get something from them. It's almost like we're trying to, I don't know, extract an experience. And this slide, this really gets to the core of these two totally opposing mindsets. So you have a transaction on one side, right? And that is all about extraction. It's driven by need and expectation, which, let's face it, almost always leads to pressure and conflict. But then you have a genuine connection. And that's all about expression. It comes from an overflow of your own being, and that creates a truly shared experience. So, why is this approach just so destined to fail? I mean, really, what makes this quest to extract happiness from another person so, well, so futile? I mean, wow, this is just such a powerful way to put it. The moment you try to squeeze happiness out of somebody, you just create resistance. And think about it for a second. Things like joy and love and appreciation, they have to be offered freely, right? The very second you demand them, all the magic is just gone. And, this approach has a completely predictable fallout. When you try to extract something from someone, what do? They naturally pull back. They feel drained or used. And that, of course, inevitably breeds resentment and conflict on both sides. It's a strategy for finding happiness that is, at its core, just completely unsustainable. Okay, so if the whole transactional model is broken, then what's the alternative? Well, this leads us to a really beautiful and honestly simple metaphor that completely reframes how we think about connection. Let's talk about the secret of the flower. This is such a game-changing idea, seriously. A flower doesn't sit there and strategize about how to share its scent, right? It isn't trying to do anything for anyone. Its fragrance is simply a natural consequence of its own blossoming. The giving is completely effortless because it's just an overflow of what it already is. So let's break down the logic here. Step 1. The flower blossoms from within. All the work is internal. Step 2, its fragrance just emerges. It's a natural consequence, not some deliberate goal. And now here's the really crucial part. Step 3, it offers this fragrance to no one in particular. And yet, everyone can receive it. It's an open offering, not a direct one-to-one transaction. And this quote just puts it so clearly, doesn't it? Instead of chasing the bee, chasing after a connection or looking for validation, your entire focus shifts to just becoming the flower. Your only job is to blossom. You just have to trust that the right connections will naturally be drawn to that vibrancy. Okay, so how do we actually apply this to our own lives? I mean, how do we stop being a seeker and start becoming a source? Well, the answer really lies in cultivating your own inner garden. And this is the fundamental shift, right here. The goal is no longer to get a connection to fill some kind of void inside you. No, it's to cultivate so much of your own inner joy, your own pleasantness, that connection just becomes a natural overflow. That overflow is your gift to the world, and it's the real foundation of a genuine bond. So what does this actually mean? It means taking full responsibility for your own inner world. It means instead of waiting around for someone else to hand you joy, you see it as an internal state that you yourself can cultivate. The focus shifts completely inward. It's all about becoming a vibrant, self-sustained being. You focus on your own blossoming first and foremost. Okay, So, with this whole new framework in mind, let's circle back to where we started. What does a deep connection actually look like then? Well, here it is. A deep connection isn't about two incomplete people trying to fix each other. It is the experience that happens when the overflow of your joy touches the overflow of another person's joy. See? There's no pressure, no expectation. It stops being a transaction and it becomes a resonance. Yeah, that's the perfect word for it. It's like two instruments that are just perfectly in tune. Ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. A true connection, a real connection, is an expression of who you already are, not a fulfillment of what you lack. The most profound connections aren't about finding someone to fill a void. They just happen when you're so full of your own life that you can't help but express it, and you just happen to meet someone else who's doing the exact same thing. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about, because it really does flip the whole script. It shifts the focus completely away from the outside world and points it right back to your inner world. The question is no longer, how do I find the right person? The question becomes, how can I become the connection itself?